Ladies and gentlemen, introducing JackJack1620.
Sub.
And JayTI7N on After Raid Hourz. How's it going, brother?
Pretty good, man. How are you?
I'm good. There's been a lot going on, both personal life, work life, or I guess all three, fun life, whatever. Lots of ups and downs. So there's been a lot going on, but it's been mostly good, I would say. So we can go back and forth. On a good note, I got engaged.
Crazy.
Super cool. On a not so good note, I've been dealing with a gout flare for the past 2-3 weeks.
Is your hand still?
I can't open my hand.
Jesus Christ.
I can't really move my wrist up. I can kind of crab claw some stuff, so I can I can do that, and I can grab a couple of things, and I can slide around, but that's about it. So
what helps that?
Steroids. In which case, I went to the hospital because I had originally gotten, as after Community Day, so we recently had Teddiursa Community Day. It was pretty successful, but I was in a lot of pain. And so I went to urgent care, and they were like, oh, take some painkillers. And I was like, sure. And so I took painkillers. Took painkillers. I got another ulcer, which is what I got hospitalized for in 2018.
Oh my God.
So I went back, and I was like, I have an ulcer. And they're like, okay, stop taking the painkillers. Here's some steroids. Here's this other drug to help with the ulcer and the pain and all this other stuff. And I was like, cool. So they gave me some while I was there.
Okay.
They're like, we're going to send it to your pharmacy. My pharmacy is 6 days behind on all of their orders. So I haven't been able to get any of the drugs I need. I tried to move it to a different pharmacy.
Yeah.
Those pharmacies can't call our pharmacy. They can't get a hold of them. So I'd have to talk to the doctor again to get the prescription moved. Anyway, long story short, it's been really difficult to get what I need for this. So I've been dealing with it. It's been getting better, albeit slowly. Last time I saw you on Community Day, couldn't really move my arm.
Yeah.
I can at least do this, and I can pinch.
Would wearing compression sleeves or anything like that help?
Yeah, so heat and compression does kind of help. I do put a little bit on when I'm sleeping.
Okay.
During the day I haven't tried
it's
yet.
Madness.
I might look at that. But anywho, so there's a down.
Just for people who haven't seen it, his hand is super swollen. Just imagine, you've seen those. I'm sure people have seen those videos of the dogs that eat bees in their mouth swells. Just imagine that, but your hand.
It's like a balloon animal hand.
Yeah, that's what it gives me the vibes.
It's but you can kind of start seeing my knuckles.
Yeah,
last time you couldn't even see those.
I can't see any of that.
Anywho, I digress.
Sweet Jesus.
So there's that. So like I said, ups and downs there. But outside of that, we have our. Well, Pokemon Violet Scarlet just came out.
Yeah,
and I thought that was funny. And I want to get into this a little bit later. But have you noticed in Pokemon Go, everything's a lot faster?
Yeah, I was noticing that.
Super smooth and fast.
I was trying to process because yesterday I was opening gifts and I do that quick thing where you click the X to get out of the animation because I'm trying to save time wherever I can, especially within Pokemon Go. Mm-hmm. And it was Xing me all the way back to the main screen. Yeah. I'm like, fuck, I didn't think I was clicking it that fast, but the game is definitely processing a bit better, which is nice.
Whiplash. I was going through and so Carl and I were finally trading our Zorua. Because you could trade those finally. Right. So we were trading those, trying to get a lucky and all this other stuff. But every menu, everything was just going by super quickly, and it was just it was weird.
Which is good.
It's nice because it's performing, but it's I'm not used to it, right? So my eyes are and then counter that with Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, which aren't very optimized for the Switch. I've been enjoying the hell out of those games. I think they've been a lot of fun to play, but there are some just performance issues in the game where it runs at 20 frames per second. It runs kind of choppy, a little bit slow. Yeah. Sometimes it takes a minute for things to load. So I thought it was kind of funny that Scarlet Violet, the brand new game on Switch hardware, comes out
and it's running
it's running kind of crappy. And then Pokemon Go, which has been on all of our phones from our old phones up to our new phones, runs extra smooth, extra quick, to the point where I don't think I'm even adjusted to it yet.
No, very true.
It's so weird, but I was just noticing that, and I was just like, what is going on? Why is it so fast?
And I know at the Community Day also, just that little thing you told me in the advanced settings of getting it to the native refresh rate.
Yeah.
I was showing people that at the Teddiursa thing, and they're like, oh my god. And I was like, I know.
It's like unlocking a whole new world.
It is. And like Teddiursa was a dope event.
It was good.
I'm just sad it was cold because not many people came out, not many people were able to donate to like our Food Bank of the Rockies fundraiser that we're doing for Aurora Masters, which kind of sucks.
Right.
And then it seems like lately with Aurora Masters, like some people are getting a little bit feisty. So like I had to kind of put a kibosh on a player because of some inappropriate language they were using in personal chat. And like the person who like tagged the leads was like, hey, they said this and this word, and I like had to like, hey, like immediately delete it. And they're like, what the hell? And I was like, hey, you use inappropriate language, but I also know you're quoting this person.
Mm-hmm.
Send me whatever screenshots. I reviewed it, and like it was coming from like a child. And I don't know what it is, but like some people's kids, but it's just also like I don't know how that's normal.
Yeah.
Like, and I know, like, I've seen, like, those YouTube videos of, like, kid gamer chats where they're, like, cussing people out.
Call of Duty.
Yeah, using different R words and all sorts of shit. And I'm just kind of like, wow. Like, as a child, I never thought to use that, especially as a trade. Because I think what triggered this person was, like, the person was like, hey, did you spoof? And they're like, yeah. And they're like, oh, never mind.
Uh-huh.
My response would just be like, "Oh, okay, then, no worries."
Yeah,
but
I'm not sweating.
the person got heated and started saying like a flurry of insults, and I was just like, "Dude, just close out the chat."
Yo, it's not that.
And
serious,
also, it's like
bro.
if you players in general, is that your Digimon going off?
Yes.
Okay.
The other one will go off soon.
Mine died. I'll tell you about that later. But if it comes to chats and people just. If they say no or turn down trade, just be like, okay, and just drop communication. Don't engage with people who are going to not be beneficial to you, and just don't waste out energy. It's not worth it. And again, because we listen on Discord, so if someone tags us and we review it and we're like, yeah, no bueno, you're gones. Like, it's really quick.
So was that a personal chat on Discord? Or was it through... I was just curious if it was like through Campfire for something.
No, it was through Discord. That'd be funny. I just with Campfire, I don't see much activity there. I think I saw like Littleton made a group. I saw that... I've seen that a couple of groups are trying to materialize, but I haven't heard much progress or much in-person feedback as to how well Campfire's been.
It seems kind of ghost townish to me.
Yeah,
to be completely honest. Like I got a quick message from like Flowmaster.
Okay.
Mixmaster Flow.
Mixmaster Flow.
Sorry, Flowmaster Mix. Anyway, I got a quick message because we have a lucky trade,
right?
And we kind of communicated a little bit. I haven't gotten back to him on who to trade and where, mainly because like I don't really have a list of Pokemon that I necessarily want.
People really need to keep lists.
That's true.
Just use the League Duck list thing.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say that's on my my to-do list now is to come up with
it.
a list of Pokemon for that because people keep asking me and I don't have answers. So
yeah.
Anyway, but that was the only time it's been used, and like it was nice. I've been able to communicate with somebody, but after that, just like crickets. You know?
And it's just people aren't using the platforms anymore. Like. Even on, like, I made a Google form trying to get people to register their lucky trades and put down if they have, like, alternate accounts to put all that so we could help try to coordinate with people. I only had, like, 4 responses, dude. And then, like, even for, like, people, because I received a pretty passive-aggressive comment about a couple communities back.
Okay.
About, like, why aren't you present? I showed up, you weren't there, and I was just like, this is volunteer, baby. Like, I don't, like, I'm just a person. I'm just a trainer. I'm out here volunteering, and we've done this process for years, and no one has ever complained.
Right.
But they're like, well, you need to be out there longer. How are we going to say you're hosting an event, but you're not there to host? And I was like, but we were. And I even had the exact times we closed up shop.
Yeah.
Because normally we at least give, like, half an hour. So if you come to any Aurora Masters event, that's specifically to community day, we'll have a table at minimum like 30 minutes. But then after that, if trainers aren't really active with us because they're all playing, we understand that, we respect that. And we're also trainers too. We want to go out and catch our Pokemon. So the sooner we can close up our table, the sooner I can go and play and actually get my steps in, hatch some Aggies.
And not for nothing, it's not like you're closing up shop and then leaving the area, right? Like
most of the time, very much around.
Most of the time, you especially, like, we're around the same area, so it's like you still catch you, like, oh, if I wait here maybe 20 minutes, or if I keep playing in this area, I'm gonna run into Jack again because I know you're there.
Yes.
Because you're playing. Like, if you're not manning a table, doing the event, hosting, because, again, there have been times where we're sitting there, the weather's not great, we're not feeling great, we're either, like, baking or we're freezing or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It's good to get our bodies moving.
Yes.
And we haven't been interacted with much at all. And we're like, okay, maybe we'll close up shop. And then people might tag us later on. It's like, oh, did you have the pins or whatever? Did you have this or that?
Or could I find you? And
yeah.
I'd be like, yeah.
And it's like, and so approach us and, like, reach out to us about those things. But, like, ultimately, like you said, you know, we're trainers too. We want to play. We try to keep it up for as much as possible, but it's kind of, you know, like, dealer's choice. It's like, hey, you know, I don't really see much activity right now, so it's okay if we put this up, because we leave it out there unmanned. Okay, that's a recipe for disaster. And then, we
did that with bags of candy over, what was it? When did we? It was Go Fest.
Yeah, Go Fest.
Like, I had, like, buckets of, like, snacks and like waters.
Yeah.
And people were just like, and again, that was just a little trial.
Yeah.
And people stole, like, the whole bag of candy I left for trainers.
Yeah, like, basically
at least my bucket stayed intact, but, like, the bags of candy were definitely snatched. And so
I remember that.
I was like, damn. And it was after, like, 5 minutes, someone snatched a whole bag of candy. I was like, really, bitch?
Yeah.
But again, we live and learn. But for people who volunteer, like, thank you. And for people who don't but criticize, maybe volunteer. See what it's like. Be on the other side.
You can fill in that hole for us.
All I think about is the freaking at Mission Viejo Park, they have a sign there. Mm-hmm. Like, are you complaining about coaching? Why not volunteer instead? And I was just like, I thought that was a great sign, because I feel like a lot of people have critiques but have never been in the position to actually, like, host or launch ideas, but they want to criticize others.
I love that.
And so to me, hilarious. I think that's why, like, for us having this podcast, like, we do a lot of volunteering, a lot of our own things, which I think helps us when we give criticisms, because we've been on this side where we're organizing things. And that's why I'm never going to say Niantic did god awful, because they at least put up something.
Right.
Do I think they're giving improvements? Yeah, and I think anything can have improvements as long as it's constructive. But yeah, going back to the surveys, I also put out a volunteer survey. Got 0 responses back. That's A-okay. I think the team of Aurora Masters leads were doing fine for what we have and for the level of activity we have, which is right now pretty minor. For the fact a lot of people, COVID took a lot of people had to reprioritize.
Absolutely.
And I don't blame them for that, because COVID and life-threatening things and having your whole world rocked, I think does take precedence over Pokemon Go. But now coming back to it, like, Pokemon Go is having its, I'm not going to say resurgence in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
But it's definitely doing a little bit more. So we had, like, the Day of the Dead event I loved.
Yeah. Something we've been kind of clamoring for.
Yeah, more cultural events.
Yeah.
And I thought it was great. I love the flowers. I don't know how to say the name of the flower, but it's to celebrate Day of the Dead. And I was able to at least find one of the shiny Duskulls. I know of, like, 2 other people that did too. Yeah. And I think that's going to be one of the probably the rarest, unless, again, Niantic does more cultural events. And to me, it was really just so short.
It was.
Like, I wanted it to be much longer, because I thought, to me, and that was one thing I had on the freaking the scavenger hunt, because we're also doing a scavenger hunt as well. And I've had pretty minimal participation in it, and I'm trying to leave it open longer.
Right.
And we're coming into our last week, so if you haven't tried it, if you're on Aurora Masters, go to the local events and just kind of backtrack a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And you could still do the survey stuff. It's still open. Because we have some prizes. It's going to be a lot of plushies, and then, like, Pokemon Go bag and $100 I think will be the final. But I think maybe next year I'll do a little bit more pre-advertising to get people a little bit more enticed, and do some maybe bigger prizes of, like, gift cards or something like that. But yeah, it's just to drum up activity, because that was one of the biggest things on the survey was, hey, we want to be more social.
Yeah.
And the game is designed to be social. This is a social activity. So I'm kind of like, where's all the people who wanted to be social? Where's all the socialness
for nothing. So like you're saying, just kind of backtrack a little bit. Like you're doing these surveys, you're doing all these things, you're doing the scavenger hunt, and like a lot of those are led by you. So you like, and I want to reiterate, you're volunteering. No one is paying you to run a lot of things for Aurora Masters. We all came together and like, hey, we're a hodgepodge group of people. Let's try to do something for our community.
Yeah, very grassroots.
We've done very good and fun things with the community, and we want to keep trying to do more and provide those. But like you said, the feedback and the interaction has been pretty low, all things considered. Part of that is, again, the changing world, in which case COVID shook everyone's foundations. How everyone interacts with everything, how everyone plays the game now is a little bit different. Slowly fading out those remote raid passes. Like they're still there, but like they want you to do in person, like the elite raids.
And I think even the second coming of Hoopa Unbound, that one wasn't really promoted a bunch.
No,
like I think people that day, and again, God bless you for trying to coordinate that day. Like when the first iteration came, like we were coordinating that night, like before, like who's doing what, we're gonna do this, let's meet up, because the day of people were just like, I need Hoopa, come help me. But like people, again, I hope people reflect on that. Like, did that work for you trying to coordinate the hour before?
Yeah,
and I don't think it really did work out for many people.
Like, that one was so weird. So the second one, like you were saying, was super weird because like I felt like it came out of nowhere. Because like you said, maybe I just wasn't paying attention to the news outlets or whatever. I had no idea it was coming until like just before. It's like, oh, by the way, elite raids. You're just like, wait.
Well, it's because we had Community Day and we had those things, and all of a sudden they're like, oh yeah, by the way, Hoopa's coming back for that weekend. I'm like, wait, what? And I remember I did tag a few in Aurora, and no one I really saw like in the raid battles or just like the raid train chats or anything like that commented, hey, I really want Hoopa, or I need help with this.
Yeah.
And again, the main thing is just to ask. So if you're there, like there's people like Alex and others like who will tag, hey, I'm looking for this Pokemon.
Yeah.
That stuff helps, because if we don't know you're looking for it, I'm not going to keep it in the back of my mind if I see it to be, oh yeah, let me invite you. Let me post that up because I know someone's looking for it.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people, and again, I don't know how active, and maybe now that I'm the owner of the Discord, I can see. Yep. I need to figure out all that. That's still
there's a lot of telemetry and stuff there.
Yeah, that's still very new to me. To just better understand the Discord, because there are things I want to improve, but also I want to make sure it's improved for the right reasons, not just upgrades that no one's gonna utilize. I
really wish, maybe just it's gonna take some time, and hopefully people can hang on until then. I wish we had another event, kind of like, remember Squirtle Community Day,
where we all got together,
where it was like 1 billion people is what I felt like.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing is like I know that
was other version, like Pokemon Go Colorado and stuff.
Well, yeah, and we could still work with them. Like I don't think that's a problem, but I think like. And that's where I wanted to coordinate maybe the other, like, even like the Aurora Facebook groups, like Poke Extreme or Pokemon Go Aurora, or those groups, to be like, do you guys just want to have a group social where we just get together and have snacks?
Well, and that's kind of what I was getting at, was like, if we had an event like that, because the one thing I was going to say is that kind of helped fortify community, similar to how, a lot of this started with the raid trains back in the day. Like, how did we communicate going to raids? Why did we even care about raids? Like now, like raids are like an afterthought to most people, mainly because the raid system is like what it is. And again, half the Pokemon, it's like, oh, Guzzlord's out, can it be shiny? Don't care. Or whatever. It's like, I got one, cool.
Yeah.
The Hoopas, I don't know if you can even transfer them or whatever, so I don't want to gather as many as possible.
Oh no.
I don't remember. I just remember the first day you couldn't, so it's like you're stuck with whatever Hoopas you caught.
Yeah.
Not for nothing. I mean, yes, it's 3 out of like 6,000 or whatever your Pokemon space is, but still, it's just like I don't need them. Why are they there? Or I wanted to transfer them for double candy. Little things like that. But it's just like remembering those events and like what helped fortify the community. I think people would love to see. When we talk about being social, having those type of like social meeting or social gathering.
Yeah.
Again, it's difficult because again that requires a lot of input from a volunteer side. Also, money. That stuff isn't free most of the time. Now we do partner with great businesses. Again, going back to Piper and Heroes, they want to work with us for those things.
Yeah, I want to do another little battle school thingy at Heroes,
when we're
the battle happy hour.
Yeah,
I really do want to do another, because it's also cooler weather. So if you're just bored on a winter day, just come out to Heroes and just have if you drink. If not, we can have pizza.
Cider at Heroes.
We need to ask Shelly.
Shelly.
We need to coordinate with Shelly and be bring it, because I know
a cider night.
I know they have Fireball shots for $5. That's a new advertisement they have.
It's like a cider.
Yeah, just ask if they could do cider instead of Fireball.
No, Fireball cider, bro.
One that'll probably make it taste better. I don't know. We should just bring a gallon of it. It's
just hey,
so do it. So you just drop your shot glass in it.
You make a really good cider.
Oh, for all the holiday parties.
Yeah.
The last one I put way too much of that anise, that
the star.
Yeah, that shit was strong.
It was very strong, but I still liked it.
But
I like strong.
We need to see. But no, we need those. I like the battle happy hour stuff.
Yeah.
Tournaments potentially, or maybe just do our own baby tournaments, so you get people, because a lot of people really don't PvP, and I think that's such a shame, because it's a cool dynamic. I was even talking with Richie, and he's like, "Yeah, I don't power anything past 40." I'm like,
I remember that conversation. It was record scratch.
I was just getting personally offended when I didn't need to. But it's one of those things, it's just an element of the game that just gets forgotten because there's not much attraction to it, or maybe not much known attraction to it. So
yeah,
I feel that's where maybe we gotta step it up, because we are more active, we are more social. Some of the comments on the surveys were I don't really know how to coordinate well. So if you could help out, and I will, I'm going to try to be better about that for raids. I do care about, maybe do more raid trains and try to host more. Because I definitely know how to, drive the course. It's not rocket science, thankfully. But at the same time, getting people to follow is rocket science. That's a whole social engineering that I have not mastered.
I mean, it's hard.
Yeah, I'm follow the giant Tahoe.
Yeah.
They're just what? I'm come on. You can do it, I believe.
Yeah, though, I was just thinking that, because sometimes, because we have a route we're pretty familiar with a lot of the time. So, raid hours or whatever, it's bam, 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 bam.
Mm-hmm.
But, I never think about it from the standpoint of people that don't know the area, that have never done it before. It's oh, yeah, just go to this gym, that gym, that gym. But, to your point, just follow the Tahoe. It's always pretty funny.
Coordinate with us to get there, but, once it starts, just you need to be with us. Or hop out of your car when it, meeting people, just hey, I'm so and so, is it cool if I join? I don't think that's always bad.
And I'd like to just kind of put it out there and promote that you don't have to have a certain, you don't have to be Liam Neeson, you don't have to have a certain set of skills to coordinate or do anything with people. I guess there's a quote wrong way to do certain things, but in this case,
don't be rude.
But just throw some darts at the board. Just try it. It's not going to be a success every time, but eventually, someone will grab onto it. Something will happen. I love seeing other people coordinate in the server. Half the time I'm at work or downtown. I can't really do anything with those raids or something like that. But I like seeing it, and again, eventually I feel like people will start to grasp onto it, and you'll start to kind of see that going. So if you ever thought about coordinating, you're I just don't know how to do it. It's just leap of faith, just shoot out there and try it.
Thinking of all this now, I was do I need to do, I'm wondering if a survey would help, what kind of prizes would entice you to participate.
Yeah.
Because that's the problem.
Here's a new iPhone.
If I had iPhone money just to throw, my goodness. But again, we did do, you did the PlayStation 5, but that was I think one of the wildest ones we've had.
That was pretty wild.
And
I don't know what I was thinking.
Who knows, it could be maybe Pokemon Scarlet or something. If games are an interest, because again, I try to just focus specifically for Pokemon Go.
Mm-hmm.
It could still be Pokemon related, which is GameStop or game stores, or maybe you're just I'm just a sucker for online shopping with Amazon. Okay, maybe we stick with Amazon.
So $100 gift card to Adam and Eve Sensations.
Well, again, I have to remember
It's
the
on the
children.
it's
that
on the
play.
survey. It's on the survey.
I'll leave it open. I'll leave it open. Put suggestions, and I'll just be like, please no, have it appropriate for all ages or something like that.
Yeah, I'm just kidding there. But,
We can always do something like that if we did like again like because I still at some point do want to do like a bar crawl.
Yeah.
With like Pokemon players and see how that would go. Just go downtown on a warm summer day, and just go and we just have our little group.
Hey, I was happy to learn that the Pokemon drinking game
What?
still works.
Oh yes, yes. People again. We still had the lightest version of it because again somehow with the grace of God, the dice were in our favor that night because we definitely did not take as many EV shots as we should have.
Right. Or Whitney.
Or
Whitney.
Or Whitney, the rollout didn't destroy all these people.
But
we were merciful.
But still,
yes, it was fun.
But anyway, we could pre-game.
Yes, we could. And again, maybe I really do want to play the game with the leads and see how they fare. Just be like, hey, let's come over and do stuff and like socialize a bit more, and then also just to see like what each of us want to do as leads. Like, what do we want to see in our community so we can start doing that? Like,
I know
if Vilro was like, I want to do a bacon date, I'll be like, game. If we learn how to make those cookies, I am in favor of it.
I think.
I
was gonna say Vilro and like Carla could like double down on baking. She made like those honey cookies for Teddiursa.
Yeah, those were
really
delicious, by the way.
They were super good, and like that's something that she wants to do.
Overwhelmingly sweet.
So we just have like an Aurora Masters like little bakery going.
Hey, well, I know like Herb was still doing his candy stuff, and like again, maybe there's folks that might have interest or skills, or because I feel like we have a really talented, diverse community here in Aurora. Like,
well, like graphic design. Everyone has like some kind of experience, at least as far as the leads are with that. Going back to like events and stuff, like tournaments, like you said, I know the official like tournament stuff starts like in January.
Did we want to do something in January?
I would like to start building up to that. Yeah,
okay.
I know like we're in the middle of the, like you like to call it, the Holy Trinity of holidays or whatever. Thanksgiving's coming up. But like, so I wasn't sure like how to schedule an event like around Christmas time or before or whatever. There's still time, but either way, after that, like I said, the new season, the new kind of tournaments will start up, and I would like to start trying to get people interested in those because I think those are really
beating for the claws.
Yeah, for sure. Beat for that claws, baby.
Beef. Like that beef with him.
I'll go
do a special tournament. That'd be sweet. Do it.
I'm a vegetarian and I'm not fucking scared of him.
Stop.
Anyway, I would love to do that because they were fun. The labs were super fun back in the day because it forced us to be a little bit more, I'd say, creative with our teams and the Pokemon that we were using and where to put my Stardust. And then, and then the actual tournaments, those are actually pretty popular and those are actually really successful. Yeah. So like those are things I would like to start again, going back to being a tournament master or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
In which case, I'm looking into some of the things we can do there, but that's another social event that we can have people gather at, and I think that's kind of important towards perpetuating like Aurora Masters and kind of regrowing it or whatever we were talking about. Like it'll be a slow climb, but I think we can get there.
Yeah.
And again, as people are adjusting to how they're playing the game, how they're enjoying the game, like you said, a lot of people don't like PvP for some reason. I don't know if that's just because they don't like how basic the system is, or they just don't want to try it, or they're afraid to play, or they don't want to lose, or whatever it is.
Well, yeah, or like I ran to a trainer the other, like I think it was like 2 community days back when I was having issues with like a rocket trainer, and I was like, at first I thought they were joking, and then I was like, no, they're not. And I was struggling trying to beat it with their team, to where it got to the point where I'm just going to trade you some champs real quick. Yeah, I'm going to do this, and we ended up getting the rocket, but I was just like, fucking A.
Was that Giovanni? Was a leader?
I think was it Gio?
I think so.
Yeah, it was because it was to get Latios.
Yeah.
It was to get Latios, and we're trying to be Persian. And again, like some people don't do the research on Google, which is a-okay, but that's also can lead to some strife. if you don't do certain researches. And then also, if you just never power up your Pokemon, you're just working with your raw...
Whatever you caught, yeah.
Your raw dog dudes.
Raw dog dudes.
And it might not be easy to beat those leaders. So that's where I think some of those people, if they come out to those events, can be like, hey, I need some help here.
Yeah.
And maybe some people are a little bit hesitant to ask for help. I know that is a big thing. And I was thinking, do we need to host like a Pokemon 101, Pokego 101, like storage box management? Or maybe give like weekly tips of like, hey, if you're having issues, here's some tips we would like to share.
It's like the annual trainings you have to do for your job, but for Pokemon Go.
Well, I think about it just like in any podcast I listen to where they give kind of like a slight reintroduction.
Yeah.
And then be like, hey, if you need resources, here's some things. Or maybe we do like top lead picks or trainer picks for this week of like, hey, here's a Pokemon you should really focus on for this event because it's like this one's going to be hot for PvP.
Okay.
Or this one, if you're a Pokemon Home player like myself and utilize Home, you want to stock up on this guy because this one's really good trade bait for things. Like maybe we just got to start doing things like that and diversifying our knowledge base.
Okay.
Because I know you do it for like games. Like you'll use a lot of terminology that I'm like, what the fuck is he talking about? But I'm sure there's people there who understand. Like you talking about, I explained it to like my little brother Terrell. I was like, there's certain people I'll listen to certain topics on because I trust their judgment. So I was like, with you and like what it was like Chris and like even Felipe back in the day, you guys are the only ones who I listen to talk about vehicles. Anyone else, it's just fucking like a white noise, like it's just like a high hum that I just don't understand what you're saying. Or you sound like the adults in Peanuts, where it's like, and I'm like, yes.
Yeah, sure.
Same with sports. Like if you talk about sports, I'll listen to you.
Yeah.
But another just random person talking to me, it's nothing. I'll look at them with cold dead eyes. Be like, I don't know what you're saying.
The cold dead eyes.
And that's pretty much it. But
I respect it. Thank you. I appreciate it. I am thankful. Thanksgiving's coming up. I'm thankful for your patience with my nonsense when it comes to topics that I know you're typically not interested in.
I'll just be like, okay, what is interesting?
Well, most of the time, like, you know, for me, I try to contextualize things in that it's somewhat digestible for people.
You dumb it down for me just right.
Either don't care or at least like kind of twist it. Not necessarily twist it, but at least present it in a way that's like, hey, you might care that, you know, Lewis Hamilton in F1, like 7-time world champion, the only black driver to do this other stuff. He's fucking amazing. He's gorgeous, etc. You know, like Lewis Hamilton's great. Love him. He's also part owner of the Denver Broncos.
Crazy.
But anyway, it's like little things like that. But I'm not going to sit here and talk to you for 4 hours on F1.
I will slam my head into a wall.
Because even me, you're just like...
I'll glaze over.
The dead, cold eyes. Like, can we just do anything?
Can we go eat?
Yeah, please. But anyway, no, it's just like... Yeah, I don't know. I think that's a good idea, kind of diversifying things that we can be helpful with. Obviously, you know, we have a lot of resources and we can point to those resources, but bringing to light some of that, like
I know, like the next kind of like to wrap up the year, I wanted to do the research to dig up all the events they've done for like 2022, and just kind of grade them and like my wish list for like what I hope they bring back next year, and
like
then
the Day
just
of the Dead event.
Yeah, like I thought that was great. Fashion Week I thought was dope.
Fashion Week was good.
I wish it was a week longer. Obviously, it can't be fashion 2 weeks. But other events that I thought were just really quick that I was like, oh, that happened. Like this Rocket one that they just had for like Shadow Mewtwo to come back. Yeah. I was hoping that would have been like all of October.
Like the rest of exactly.
But instead, it was just like 3 days. And I'm like, oh my god, I have to like rush to find Giovanni.
Weekend at Rockets, yeah.
Now I was trying to do it on my alt accounts, and the mission wasn't even there.
It was like you missed the opening hour to get the mission or something like
that. I don't know what it was, or maybe I'm just so behind in missions it didn't even register.
Like you didn't finish it on the other
there's
ones?
so many missions I haven't done on the alternate accounts.
That is true, because it's basically the same Rocket mission every year, right?
It always goes through.
Yeah, maybe you were sitting on the old version of it, and it's like it read that, and instead of giving you the 2022 version of it, it's just like, oh, you're already in the middle of this one.
Yeah, so if you didn't know that, yeah, it definitely didn't show up for my other accounts because I was looking for it.
It's just like, hey, I want to do this.
Because I was like, I can knock this out real quick, and it's like, sorry, you still are behind. I'm like, no.
I would like more Team Rocket events. I still want like a Rocket-centric community day.
They really should. I was just on the drive today, like I was out taking some gyms, and I was thinking about it. I was like, they really should open up the team roster to have a Team Rocket where you can sign up for Team Rocket.
I feel like they're holding that in their pocket for like when they feel like Pokemon Go numbers are starting to dwindle.
And see, that's where I feel like they're gonna come at
to do it too late.
It's gonna be like that graph where it's like the point of no return.
Yeah,
they're gonna do it after that point where people might be logging out of Pokemon like, for good and they're not returning.
I'm done with Pokemon Go.
Yeah, because again, even the day one homies they're getting fewer and fewer each day. And it's mainly just because everyone's like, well, I still have a life to live. You know, like, I'm going to go do that.
Yeah.
And, like, I still love Pokemon
Well, and
Go.
then what's the reward for being a day one homie in Pokemon Go versus being a day 400 homie?
Nothing.
There's literally no difference.
Sucks.
Yeah.
Like, I literally just made another baby account because I was bored.
Yeah. Like, compare how easy it is to raise that baby account versus when you first started.
Oh, yeah. Like, there's that. And also, again, the community aspect, like, I'll still see players and I'll still talk to people because I'll still be social.
Yeah.
But a lot of the newer players don't go out of their way like I feel like the older players used to.
Yeah.
Because, again, when we're having turf wars, I think that's what really helped us.
Turf wars, bro.
And maybe they just need to bring that back. Maybe
massive.
we need to have gym control fights.
Yeah.
And bring that back to have the tension because then tension can bring... There could be good things that come out of tension as well as bad.
Fucking heated about gym battle.
Well, and someone was getting on my nerve. Like, they were knocking me out of gyms near my house, like, specifically me, JackJack. Okay. And I was kind of like, who is this bitch?
Someone just got a little vendetta against
Do I
JackJack?
have to find you? Well, because they knocked me out, but all my babies would remain. It's
like, you don't know that those other accounts are also
those
JackJack?
are also me. Yeah. I'm Legion. I'm everywhere. And, like... So I think it's funny. Other parts where...
Well, speaking of gym stuff real quick, I would like to revisit gym etiquette or just Pokemon Go etiquette in general.
Yes, like if I take a gym, leave me there for at least an hour. Fuck.
Give me something.
People be knocking me out 5 minutes in. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, that's not cool. Or again, if I see your gym, and sometimes I'll draw that out if I see certain trainers that have been notorious to take the gyms, I'll be like, fine, I'll let you hold that gym for 3 days. I won't take it at all. I'll go take other gyms that no one goes to and then boot myself out with my babies, but I'll let your Pokemon rot. And then if I feel like it, I'll attack them all on the same day so you only get 30 coins or 50 coins regardless.
Oh, yeah.
Just because I'm petty.
But like when you had that Pokemon in Sedalia for like 80 days or something?
Yeah, that shit.
Please, someone come take me out.
Knock him. And that was, yeah, that was bad. I need to drop another Pokemon like that back. Do like a Sandalite or something like that, or like the Salazzle. So I could try to bury him and get some candy on it. But like stuff like that. But I think game wise, like it hasn't been bad. Like I think it's gonna be like we predicted in December. They put out the dates. I'd need to make an advertisement. I was thinking of doing like the Beatles, where it's just like the floating heads of like all the Pokemon in black.
Oh yeah.
I was gonna probably do that for like the pin. Because it's going to be another probably remake.
It's a recap of the years.
Yeah, recap. Yeah. Apologies, wrong word. But then they also gave, I think January is having 2, so they're doing a classic, I believe, because they had 2 dates in January.
Yeah, so 2 separate dates in January. Yeah, so they're probably doing a classic in January. I was wondering if, and we'll see. We'll obviously learn probably right after we publish the podcast.
Yes,
is if in December part of that pool will be the classic ones too, like because they released Dratini and Classic, the Charmander. Did they do Charmander Classic?
I don't know. Most of the classics,
I mean, there's just
really
like we don't care,
participate
but
in.
like other people do.
I think it's Bulbasaur.
Might have been, yeah. I think it might have been.
It was Bulbasaur.
But I mean, like, are those going to be randomly in the December pool for this year?
Oh, I hope not.
So you're just like, oh, haha.
The only thing I want them to do is make sure we can get all the community day moves. Because I hate when they like capped it. They're like, only these ones, only Johto, and I'm like, why?
Yeah.
Or only Kanto.
That would be nice.
Like, please,
if you're gonna do like a
give us
community
all of them.
day, they should just do like a whole like 180 and then just like re-release all the Go Fest Pokemon. Or all the Safari Zone Pokemon that we didn't have access.
Well, and that was something we were talking about at the Teddiursa thing. Is like, do you think are they gonna continue remote Go Fest going into the new year? And I was like, I think so. I think that's a good moneymaker. But that's something we'll definitely talk about more in December. But I'm hoping they do more regional stuff is my only hope. Because I loved getting Tropius. Thank you guys for that. Like, that was glorious.
Tropius is awesome.
But there's more to be done. You can do the egg thing. Because I was saying about that for like Mr. Mime Jr.
Yeah.
We haven't had access to him for like a year or two, like in the States. And
just change the egg
we're
pool.
Definitely getting the egg pool. And that was the other thing. Ooh. I love the shifts with the egg pool for these events, but then the reversion back to the shit that it was is just so fucking heartbreaking.
It's like, if you like, because you know me, I don't open gifts very often. And like, but during the events when it like had good egg pools, I'm just like my gifts are like open.
Yeah.
As soon as it reverted, my gifts stacked back up. It is like, this person sent you a gift 2 days ago, and I'm like, I'm not opening it because I have open egg spots and I don't want more Alolan nonsense. Like,
yeah.
But I love trying to get like shiny Noibat or
I got a shiny Rockruff.
The shiny Munchlax. Shiny Rockruff?
Yeah,
awesome.
But I was trying to get a shiny. What was it?
Munchlax?
I actually did get a shiny Munchlax. Okay. Cherubi.
Oh, okay.
I was trying my damnedest to get him because I like him.
Right.
Like, there's a lot of cute plant Pokemon that I really adore. He's one of them, and like Sunkern. Yeah. Like, honestly, I kind of want like a little Sunkern plush if I'm able to find one. I like Badoo. I think they're really cute.
So you like the Plant Daddy?
Yeah, definitely. Exactly. Plant and Fossil Daddy.
Plant and Fossil Daddy.
Love them. Love little dinos. I like we'll touch on Scarlet and Violet briefly. Like, I like some of the newer things I'm seeing in Scarlet and Violet.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just excited to explore the terrain.
Yeah, that's fun.
And I was telling Remy, I was like, because Gimme Ghoul's obviously there, and we had a little taste of him in Go.
Yep.
Where you're able to get coins, and there's still no word as to what that will give you. But with it, there's Gimme Ghouls obviously in the game, and I've just been robbing them left and right. And Remy's like, wait, you can just go up to them? I'm like, yeah,
you have to press.
You hear like a ching, and you're like, I know you're around here, bitch. and
then they give you Gimme Ghoul coins.
Yeah.
The secret is,
steal that shit.
Spoiler alert, you have to collect 999 of those coins to evolve it.
Are you kidding me?
Dead serious. Yeah.
Okay.
You don't just get one every time.
Okay.
But you do need 999 to evolve it into the gold Silver Surfer looking the Gold Surfer.
Okay, the Gold Surfer.
I think the first time I saw it, I was like, "Is that Silver Surfer but gold?"
Hey.
Anyway, I'm kind of.
It's just Frieza.
But anywho, because that'll be coming to Pokemon Go. Gimme Gold will be coming to Pokemon Go because they're Go will be able to interact with Scarlet Violet similar to the Meltan boxes.
Okay.
Go will be able to interact with Scarlet Violet sometime next year, early next year.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. I hope they do another bag modification. These again, I am so against stamps.
The stickers.
Still, yeah, stickers. But that showed me that they can make whole other storage facilities for no reason.
Yo, so side note.
Make us a berry bag,
side
please.
note, because I didn't really talk about it on the podcast, but I was kind of outwardly complaining about the sticker system before they did the change. And I was just like, legitimately, I was just like, Niantic, all I want is like, if you have to force me to use these fucking stickers, at least make it to where it's like a grid or something pops up that I can like slide through or like tap on something super easily instead of like this one little fucking ribbon at the bottom of my thing trying to scroll through. And then they did it. And I was like, hey, yo, is this my new power?
Thanks.
Yeah. I was like, but to your point, it was just like, okay, nice. That's a start. That's a
Give
little
us
start.
more egg space.
I want more egg space. I want breeding. I want...
Yeah, that was one thing we were talking about too. They're like, well, what would it be? Couldn't it be 12? I was like, make it 20. I don't fucking
give
care.
A shit. 25. I don't care.
I was like, if I know the Pokemon, I'm doing it. And you could even nerf, like... I'm fine even if you nerf some of the stats. Like, it can't... Like, it'll be bigger. Like, it might be between 70 and 90.
Right.
Whatever. Or maybe you don't give as much candy. Maybe from those you get a max of 5 candies per. That is still fine.
Right.
That's fine.
But I would buy
incubators
in an instant.
Yes.
If I could control... If I can... And
even
like,
if it's limited, and it's you would still get more money.
If it's like full odd shiny, it's like, okay, I'm going to breed these Noibats until I get my shiny Noibat. Okay, that took me 20, 30, 40, 50 eggs, whatever, I did it.
Yeah, even if they change it, I think right now the current rate for shinies out of eggs they're saying is like 1 out of
64, I thought.
1 out of 50 or 64.
Okay.
But it's of that same Pokemon, you have to hatch 50 to 64 times.
Of that one.
Of that one.
Okay.
Is what they're saying.
Cool.
So it's kind of like, all right, even if you increase the rate on that for breeding, for like those special bred eggs, make them rainbow eggs, make them really cool.
Yeah, like if I can control that, it would like you would get way more money out of me now.
Yeah,
all I'm saying is because I don't want incubators right now because I don't want your fucking filthy 7K eggs with Alolan. I'm tired of Geodude, Diglett, Meowth, even Alolan Vulpix. So like I'm getting that's one of my favorite Pokemon. Get it out of here.
Yeah, like I think who's back in the egg roster now for 7Ks? Is it those boys?
Pretty sure it's the Alolan.
Let me check because they reverted back when I was in the mid stride of like trying to get all my Cherubies. And they're just like, not today, bitch. And they like took it at such a random time. I was like, how dare? Because I was like really trying to get those eggs hatched, and it's like, nope, we revert. And I was like, well.
I'd love more egg space and breeding to help control that. That would be immaculate.
Yeah. And then out of the 10Ks, take out who do we not need there? Well, Riolu's still good if he. They should just turn up the shiny rates for these boys. So I think every one of them besides Minfu could be shiny. Oh no, and Jingmo.
Oh,
he can't be shiny yet, but I would love more of him. To me, I think they should just lower these down to like second tier to where they are a higher chance of them.
Yeah.
In the 12Ks, take out Larvitar, Pancham, Scraggy, and
Absol, maybe.
Absol doesn't need to be there. Inkay like Absol, definitely does not need to be in the 3 rarest when we just had an event for him. That's so silly.
Well, Skorupi, despite the event, he just doesn't need to be in there.
Yeah, Skorupi, really? As one of the top tier ones? No.
Yeah, nothing hurts.
You've lost your mind.
Than hatching at 12K. And
You've lost your mind.
Or
Skrelp.
Or male Sandalwood.
Yes.
I'm
that doesn't even make sense. The only ones that should be in the top tier should just be Sandalwood. Because we've already had Absol. We had a Dino Community Day, so he shouldn't be there at all. Skorupi, you guys got jokes. Skrelp, why? No Inkay. Like, it should only be Sandalwood. That's it. Should be the only one. Or like a Noibat. Noibat was even fine there.
Noibat should be fine.
I don't even know why he's not even in the roster no more. Which is madness.
Because he was in the 7Ks for a hot second.
Nah,
suck me. Anyway.
And then 5Ks, just... They made him better, but just take out all the Alolan. There's no need for Rowlet.
All the starters?
Yeah, no starter should be in eggs. That's just so silly. Meltank, just because he can be shiny, I'm fine with that, but like fucking
the
Bronzor shouldn't even be there. Should only be baby Pokemon. See, this is where again Mime Jr. should be.
Yeah.
Like make 5Ks relevant. Because right now they're not. 2Ks,
Useless.
I'm fine with this simply because it's quick and easy. I again
You still get the
take
baby
out the low ones.
I mean, you can even put Mime Jr. there, but
you don't need any low one Pokemon there because they can't be shiny yet. I don't see why you'd have them there.
for real.
Same with Magikarp. I don't think anyone needs Gyarados anymore because we had a community day for him. I think as soon as they have a community day, they should be exiled from the Aggies. Personally, it just doesn't make sense.
Well, inevitably,
they
there'll be a
their
community day classic, or there'll be an event like some water event, like April Fools, Magikarps everywhere.
Doesn't even make sense.
April Fools, 12Ks are hatching Magikarps.
But to me, just make the babies easier to get their shinies.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah. So anyway, more
quick egg rant, but
I do berry bag would be great. Actually,
yes, that's all I want.
Separate my berries and even my balls. Okay, I want.
If it's a year,
I want to do scrotum.
If they could do one roll a year, I'd want a berry bag first.
Yes.
The next, a year is reasonable. Then the next year, let it be hatching because I know there's some mechanics you'd have to do for that. I don't know what it is, but
well, and then by that time they will have maybe started integrating the newer gens too, like 9th gen,
which would be great. That yeah. I don't think it's asking for much.
No,
I don't think.
I would love a compartmentalized bag, like move my evolution items. I don't know why I even hold on to them, to be honest. But
you should only keep 10 of each, baby.
I have,
if that.
I have 5 of each.
Yeah, like if that.
But even then, I'm just like that.
Yeah,
but
actually, to go through my bag and like.
But yeah, shit like that. Like berries would be great. Balls,
TMs would be great to just keep in a separate bag.
Oh yeah, you're charged in whatever TMs.
Yeah. Honestly, the other feature I wish you could do, like they had, strangely enough, in Niantic's game that's no longer here, the Harry Potter game.
Yep.
Their gifts in that game used to auto deliver.
Really?
So if you had it, you could program it or set it to where it would give gifts automatically once you acquire. So to me, I think you should be able to set a priority listing for your friends.
That would be sick.
To be like give, and you set like your top 5, like
that
MySpace.
Would be cool. It's like top 5 MySpace.
Yeah, or top 10, and then from there it just gives out gifts to everyone. So that way, you don't have to worry. Yeah, you could set a priority. But if not, just give your gifts automatically so it doesn't hold up your bag. Because I think it sucks when you have that 20 cap.
Yeah.
And then you forget to give a gift. Because then you obviously can't gain anymore. So then you could be going through Go Fest. Because when I'm playing, I have my gotcha grabbing the stops.
Yeah. Well, me too. Like when I'm going downtown, for instance, it's like every stop and gym on the way. It's like, got it.
I'll give gifts at like the end of the day or the first thing in the morning. Usually, but like that would be a cool feature to me. That's just like an update change. That wouldn't be a year worthy one to wait for, but like little things like that. But overall, I think the recent events, season blind, I think is coming to an end in the next 10 days or so.
Yeah.
So they haven't announced a new season. Guzzlord is still very much in raids. I think same with like Mega Gyarados.
Mega GI.
I think they had a safari event and like Latios was available.
Yeah.
I think it was Phil. I think he got like a shiny Latios. I was like, what? When did he come back? But I checked. I was like, no, he's not back. It must just be for that event. And again, more power to you if you wait for those remote raid lobbies, because I hear they're pretty horrible. Again, that's where it helps to know flyers or people that spoof, because they can just invite you directly to them.
Air support.
You know, air support.
I need air support.
But not gonna say we promote or whatever that, but there be options.
The one thing I don't promote, regardless,
is petty behavior.
Yeah, I was gonna say is being rude to people. Yeah, despite how they play.
Yeah, rude pettiness. I'm a petty person, but I'm not rude about it.
No room for hatred or people to call people names or whatever.
Yes, just please don't do that.
They do something.
It is 2022, about to be 2023.
Oh yeah.
If you can't expand your vocabulary to insult people creatively, you're not getting the education you need.
My lord.
But yeah.
Right on. Well, yeah. So, we got, like I said, we got Thanksgiving coming up. Mm-hmm. We got. Curious to see. Well, never mind. December Community Day will be the rehash.
I hope they don't fucking focus on raids, unless it's like dope raids like
day 2
Mewtwo,
raids.
legendaries. Let all of them pour out. All the Alolan Ultra Beasts are in the wild. Let it rain.
Why we thought so? Like,
Galarian birds are
just
free.
Real quick, when they were like, "Oh, Elite Raids will be back before the end of Season of Light," and I was like, for some reason, I hope it's a new Pokemon. No, it's fucking Hoopa again.
It's Hoopa again. Again, maybe they bring out Gold Hoopa. I would love that to start the new year. Just bring the chaos.
Just come on.
All right, do it. But yeah,
just make Elite Raids fun. I don't know. They didn't extend the time on those.
Nope, still 30 minutes.
Still the same.
Horrible choice.
All right, well, fix your shit, Niantic.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no. Outside of that, we've been enjoying Pokemon Scarlet Violet. Like I said, it has a little bit of a, running issues on the Switch itself. It feels like it could have been kind of cooked a little longer by the devs.
Yeah.
That's probably an upper management thing.
Devs are developers.
Okay. Oh yeah. Sorry, the developers.
I had to put that together myself. I Blue's Clues that.
Probably an upper management thing where Pokemon is the number one selling franchise of all time. So Pokemon Company has expectations for how much money they need to make every year. So I guess why not?
They're like, we need our bonuses, guys.
Yeah, force our games out now, as opposed to just imagine if the game had a little bit longer to cook. But anyway, there's a lot of things that have been fun in it. I love the Gen 9 decks.
I think
there's a lot of
awesome
Pokemon in
I like
there.
the little picture books.
I love how they did the Pokedex.
Yeah.
I love the puns. All the
I can't wait for some of them to join Pokemon Go.
Some really good pun names in there. Yeah, so I'm excited for 9 to join Pokemon Go. And hopefully, like you said earlier, they'll develop it a little bit further and push that out. So anyway, non-Pokemon Go related, but still Pokemon related. Scarlet Violet, it's been a whole lot of fun. Legends Arceus was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I think I've had even more fun with this one, to be honest. There's a lot to do. It's very massive.
Big ass map.
And though it doesn't run great and it doesn't look the greatest, sometimes it feels very PS2 era.
Oh yeah. And when I got Pokemon, I did not get it for its graphics.
Right.
I got it for nostalgia.
It would be great to have a game that does push those boundaries later on.
Yes.
Hopefully maybe that ever happens. But as it stands,
well, again, I think that was been Legends of Arceus, but
yeah.
For one of the main games, it would be dope.
Be sick.
Super sick.
Anywho, anything else for the peeps?
Nope. Stay safe, people. Have a great time. Enjoy time with loved ones.
Yep.
And also don't feel pressured to do anything stupid. Like if you don't need to spend money, don't go out for Black Friday.
Yeah, don't.
Make wise choices, please. And drive safely, because it barely snowed and we had major accidents. So just please be careful out there. Keep your head on a fucking swivel, baby.
Hell yeah.
But that's it.
Yeah, we love you.
Bye.